Look, I know I sometimes say or post strange things, but that's just how my brain works. To anyone I've offended, I just want to say I reinvented electric cars and I'm sending people to Mars in a rocket ship. Did you think I was also going to be a chill, normal dude?
Excuse me. Would you mind answering a quick question for a documentary I'm doing?
Sure.
The question's, are you happy?
Am I happy?
Yeah.
Sure. Sure I am.
Why?
Why? Because I'm alive. I'm here today and I'm alive. That's why.
If you had one message to tell the entire world, what would it be?
Calm down and live your life.
An introvert loses energy from social interaction. An extrovert gains energy from social interaction. So an introvert wakes up in the morning with 5 coins. Every social interaction, they spend a coin. At the end, they are depleted. An extrovert wakes up with no coins. Every social interaction, they get a coin, and by the end, they feel rich. Like going to a party, they gives them energy, versus going to a party sucks your energy. What I have learned is I have a big personality, but I'm still an introvert. So what I've learned is that it doesn't matter which one you are. The question is how do you leverage what you got, right? And so I go to parties with an extrovert, right? Because that way they can do all the talking and I can just stand there and just eat the cheese. But if you notice, I've learned to leverage what I have.
So we hang around people that make us feel better, that tell us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. And so we stay away from those people. And we stay away from those people, like our internal dialogue becomes that kind, it's okay. It's not okay. So that's where it starts. It starts with that accountability of it's not okay anymore. This can no longer be okay. And calling yourself out for exactly what you are and exactly how you need to fix it. That's where it starts.
I'm really self-conscious about my music. And even if I do a good job, I always wonder, how I could have done it better. I rarely celebrate anything. And just for anyone watching this that's wondering how this happened, that's really the answer. It's being so unsure how you're getting it done that you just kind of keep going in the hopes of figuring out the formula. Just feeling so lucky and blessed that the fear of losing it keeps you up at night.
One time my mom said, you need to get a job. I said, I already have a job. I'm just not getting paid yet. Actually, I have a career.
That's a huge punchline.
Real stuff, man. I'm working on my dream. That's my job. If I'm gonna pay attention to my nightmare, I should be able to work on my dream. Well, one of them is gonna take my energy. I would rather give my energy to my dream than my nightmare.
The secret is there's certain times don't think. Like when you get up in the morning, don't think. Just roll out of bed, go in your life cycle, or go on a bicycle ride, or go to the gym, work out. You know that's what you have to do. And then read something and learn something. So don't even think about it. Yeah. But there's other times where you have to really think, and you really have to get creative and have a clear vision of where you want to go and what you want to do. And that's what I always had, and that's what I always believed in. I always believed in making money.
When I'm at restaurants, I am a big tipper. I like to show people my appreciation. So when they come up to the table, I say, the quicker I get my order, the bigger your tip will be, right? And then the food will come fast. And then when we get ready to leave, I'll ask them, how much you want?
You'll ask the waiter how much you want?
How much you want? And the most someone said was $4,000. And I said, okay, no problem.
You gave him $4,000? You should have punched him in the head is what you should have done.
What I did wasn't rocket science. For me as a kid, I had dreams bigger than anybody else could ever dream. I wanted to be the greatest. I wanted to be the best. When I went through a span of 5 or 6 years where I didn't miss a single day of training, 365 days a year, that made me different. I got 52 extra days each year than anybody else had. And in the sport of swimming, if you miss one day, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. Everybody else is taking a step back on Sunday when they weren't swimming, and I was taking that one step forward.
Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It is not. And to this day, it's like this every single day because you're always pushing the envelope, right? And the purpose of an entrepreneur is to solve problems. So every day something happens and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that. And you got to deal with it. And I also say entrepreneurship is the fast track to personal development Because
It
every
is.
day, right, you're
is.
facing something right here. It's like, oh man, and you can't back down from it. You gotta deal with it.
Can I ask you a question? I said, yes. How can you from this building jump this building? I said, more easy. Rolling camera, action, jump, hospital.
It's so easy to fall in the footsteps of others, to do what they do because you think it's the right way because you think they've had the success and you can copy that success. You have to find your own path. You have to find your own footsteps. An art student must be a master from the beginning. That is, he must be the master of such as he has. By being now master of such as he has, there's promise that he will be a master in the future.
To find your way in life is not an external search, it's an internal search. Because God equipped you the moment he gave birth to you. God equipped you at birth with what you needed. He gave all of you a gift, all of you. Every last one of you, you're gifted. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. All of you sitting in here were given a gift at birth. He put it inside you. You ain't got to look under the ocean. It ain't on a mountain. It ain't under no rocks. He put it in you at birth.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you to put all your stuff back on your desk, don't do that, man. Don't do that. When they tell you you're not funny, you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless. When they tell you that you overexposed, be relentless.
Those who are committed to being successful with whatever they are doing, one important aspect of their life is they're not settling down wherever it's a bit comfortable. Because comfort will happen when they lower you to in the grave, very comfortable you are, you know. Have you seen how comfortable they are? Once they're dead, if you throw them there also they're comfortable, if you lower them they're comfortable, even if you burn them.
I said, well, Daddy, what you want me to buy you? A new car? And my daddy always wanted a Cadillac, so I bought my daddy a Cadillac, remodeled my mama's whole house. It was embarrassing. She wanted brand new walnut paneling and brand new shag carpet. Who buy that? So that's what I ended up doing.
Hey, you play basketball?
I used to.
Oh, you used to? I can beat you.
I want the house on the water. I want the nice car. I want the nice watch. I want to stay fresh. I want to stay clean. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You should strive for greatness.
People got mad at me. They're talking about Steve Harvey prefers wealth over health. No, I'm just telling you. If your ass wants to hit it and be rich, you got to quit bullshit. You got to get your hustle and grind on. You can't sleep well, how much you sleep? I sleep between 4 and 5 hours. If I get 6 hours, woof, I'm tired. Plus, I'm old. I gotta get up. I want to see what today is. I can't miss nothing. I'm old, man. I'm 64 years old, so I can't be laying in the bed waiting. I gotta get up early. I'm up before the sun come up every day because I just want to see what else God got.
If there's people who have regular jobs who are coming out in the rain, in the snow, spending their hard-earned money to buy tickets to come to your shows, you don't need this right here. I promise you. You already won.
I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
I need a phone with a calculator. Do you have one, or should we borrow one?
Yeah, I got a phone.
You got one? Can we? Here, don't even unlock it. It's okay.
Don't unlock it.
Don't unlock it. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know if this is gonna work, but That's your phone right there?
My ass.
If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a private plane, a 6 or 7 star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't hate on me. Don't get jealous of me, because I work my ass off to get it. Everything about my life and career, I've earned it. Ain't nobody gave me shit. Nobody handed me nothing. If you want it, go get it.
I used to worry about tomorrow. I used to worry myself to death. I don't care. You know how many times they didn't cancel shows of mine? Every time they've canceled a show, God gave me another one. Every time. I got a talk show canceled, a Little Big Shots canceled. They canceled the show. God gave me a Facebook watch show, paid me the same money in 2 weeks than I made in 34 weeks. What? You got to let God do what he do.
In less than 8 years, when I'm a millionaire by 25, I'll come shake your hand.
I promise you that statement itself made me 100% guarantee that you won't. If you really want to win and you want to come to New York in 8 years and shake my hand, here's what you need to do. You need to stop giving a shit about what anybody else has and realize that if you put your head down and just work for the next 10 years, no glamour, no new fucking car, suitcase, jewelry, trip, event, no Coachella, no fucking new fucking sneakers, like fucking work, you will have it. And every time you care about one of the things I just mentioned, it will slow down your process of having.
If I'm at a grocery store, if I give you 100 and your change is, you give me change, whoever's traveling with me, I give them all the change. If it's 20s, 10s, if it's $80 a change, I give it away. I don't want nothing except hundreds, because it's the law of attraction. I only want hundreds. That's the largest denomination bill. That's what I attract. So I attract hundreds, because I don't want nothing else. It's the law of attraction. If you start putting your singles away, you'll stop attracting singles.
Single people just look better anyway. Like they glow, you know what I'm saying? You see them, their eyes are open, their vibes, and like, girl, what's up? What day is it today? Like, they just gas. Like, single people just look sick. You can tell when someone's in a relationship. You can see. You can see, man.
You can see it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you can.
I used to see that stuff and be like, damn, am I not working hard enough? You know what I mean? And that's what I think people don't realize, is that you're wired differently. You know what I mean? If you win, you know what I mean, you expect to win. Mm-hmm. Right? Like some people, I don't know, like it's the hard work until you just fall in love with it. Like waking up, training, you just, yeah, that's what I do.
Every human being has genius level talent. There are no chosen one. God is giving every single person genius level talent. You just have to find what it is that you're great at and then tap into it.
We have always focused on this ratio here of the number of engineers that we have to the size of the user base, like for the impact that they're going to have. And what we found is that each engineer here is roughly responsible for more than 1 million users. Right, if you do that calculation, that's much more than smaller companies that have smaller user bases but in smaller employee bases, and much larger than larger companies that have maybe more users but also a lot more employees.
My parents were great. You know, growing up, they instilled in me the importance of imagination, of curiosity, and understanding that, okay, if you want to accomplish something, I'm not just going to sit here and say, yes, you can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can, but you have to also put in the work to get there, right? So they taught me that at a really early age, man. And when you grow up as a kid thinking that the world is your oyster, all things are possible if you put in the work to do it, you grow up having that fundamental belief.
What would winning mean to you?
Are you kidding me? First of all, winning at any age is incredible.
Yeah, and your age is?
How old are you? 80.
What?
You're 80? I'm 80.
Oh my God. If I believe that I'm disabled, I would wither up. I would be shy. I would be insecure. I would be afraid. I would act like I need your help. And the rest of humanity would be okay with that. But I choose something else. I choose to be strong. I choose to be a leader. I choose to have words to move this planet. I'll tell you why I was born. And I hope it inspires you to find out why you were born. I was born to rid this world of insecurity.
Muhammad Ali worked his butt off. And I remember that there was a sports writer that was there in the gym when he was working out and he was doing sit-ups. And they asked him, how many sit-ups do you do? And he said, I don't start counting until it hurts. He doesn't start counting his sit-ups until he feels pain. That's when he starts counting. That is working hard.
Are you a billionaire yet, bro? Let's be honest. You're gonna be the YouTube's first billionaire.
Yeah.
Is it happened?
No. If I was, it'd obviously be paper. Like if we do one of these companies like Beast Burger stuff, because like actual cash, I'm probably the poorest person in this room. If I make $3-4 million a month, I just spend it on videos the next month. We literally like have razor thin margins and just reinvest it all.
Oh, you're spending $4 million on a YouTube video?
Well, $4 million a month on video.
My uncle always told me something early in my life, which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal. You know, because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you know, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it can be a self-destructive thing.
You know, I just feel everybody's situation is unique. I feel everybody's situation is different. You know, but most definitely you gotta think of tomorrow, you know, and not just today. So the decisions you make, you should most definitely consider, you know, long term. And I think that's the difference. You know, let's not be so short term on everything now. Let's be patient, you know, on a lot of different things, and most definitely investing is one of them.
See, you have to keep going because you just don't know when God is going to flip the switch. And he can't tell you when he's going to flip the switch because it would destroy the one thing that he requires from you, faith.
The problem is we don't teach people how to lead, right? When you're very, very junior, we give people tons of training how to do their jobs. Some people get advanced degrees how to do their jobs so that they'll be good at them. And if you're really good at your job, we'll promote you. And eventually you get promoted to a position where you're now responsible for the people who do the job you used to do, and we don't teach you how to do that. So how can we expect people to be good at their jobs if we don't train them how to do it? Like, would you go see a doctor that didn't go to medical school? No. So why would we work for a leader who has no training in being a leader? That's why we get managers. That's why we get micromanagers. That's why we get toxicity. It's not because they're bad people. It's because they don't know what they're doing. And they're making it up as they go along.
People in the world that are focused and like I wake up in the morning with a purpose. This is what I'm doing. You can feel that energy, or you can feel it because it's a kindred spirit. So those are the people that I tend to work with a lot. And if you don't have that, I can sense it. But we're also very disciplined. If you're a person that's very distracted, hanging around the wrong crowd, not having that sense of purpose, we don't want to be around it.
Put yourself in a position where you're going to thrive, not where it's going to be comfortable, right? Number two is, most immigrants will come here and they'll think blue collar. How am I going to trade time for dollars? And so job number one, job number two, job number three, get minimum sleep. My argument is, how quickly can you think up a service, a product, a business model that you can deploy in exchange for money, right? How can you leverage yourself?
In Manchester now is Manchester City. They have more money to spend on big players. Is it possible that one day, if they gave you the right offer, you could play for them, all out of respect for United?
You think the money going to change my mind now with 13 years old? I don't think so. I think this is not going to be the problem. Because if you will speak about the money, I will go to Qatar. Maybe probably have more money than Manchester City, but it's not about the money, it's about the passion.
Friendly reminder. Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace.
What are the areas of your life that you feel you missed out on that make you feel insecure? When you understand that, you start to recognize that this isn't a gap in you. It's a gap or a hole in your experience. Now remember, you can always improve your experience. You can always improve yourself. But first, we have to conquer the past by trying to understand.
If people are not listening to you, stop talking to them. And that is the best piece of advice that I can give you. And what happens is that if you stop talking to people who aren't listening to you and start watching them instead, they will tell you what they're up to. But so if you have things to say them, but you find people that will listen, talk to them. The ones who aren't listening, pull back. Because you're devaluing what you have to say by offering it to an audience that does nothing but reject it. And that's a good guideline to life in general.
We rip out so much of ourselves to be cured of things faster that we go bankrupt by the age of 30 and have less to offer each time we start with someone new. But to make yourself feel nothing so as not to feel anything, what a waste.
What about the pot?
I do not smoke pot. As anyone who watched that podcast could tell, I have no idea how to smoke pot. Or anything. I don't know how to smoke anything, honestly.
Here are some of the words written about you.
Yeah, sure.
Not the whole time.
There's a lot of
just
words.
over this summer. Erratic, unstable, reckless, operatic.
Operatic? It's not bad, actually. I kind of like that one. I'm just being me. I mean, I was certainly under insane stress and crazy hours, but the system would have failed if I was truly erratic.
Being self-promotional and putting yourself out there, there's so many people that have opinions about me. As long as the people that actually know me have the opinions they have versus the people that have never met me but they heard me say fuck on stage, like as long as I'm good with the people that actually can look under the hood, then I'll always win. So if you feel good about who you actually are, you need to get loud. And if you don't, fix your shit.
The comfort zone is dangerous. When you're comfortable, you are at most danger. The comfort zone is somewhere you should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. Anybody ever tell you, hey, look, you know what? Just be satisfied with what you got. Don't believe them. Get them away from you. You should never be satisfied with what you got. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
Try to live your life in a way that you will not regret years of useless virtue and inertia and timidity. Take up the battle. Take it up. It's yours. This is your life. This is your world. You make your own choices. Pick up the battle and make it a better world. Just where you are. Yes. And it can be better, and it must be better, but it is up to us.
The biggest thing I'd say is give yourself permission to take time. Give yourself permission to recognize that living your passion and creating a purpose takes time. For some people, they've waited till 30 or 40 or 50 or 60. We want it to happen in our 20s, but your best years are yet to come.
The human brain cannot comprehend the negative. Don't think of an elephant. You can't tell the human brain not to do something. Skiers know this. If you ever seen skiers go through trees, if you go through trees on skis and you go, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, guess what you're watching? You're only looking at trees, as opposed to follow the snow.
You ever ask a man how he's doing and he says, I'm alright. I'm here to tell you, that man is not alright. That man is battling demons that you cannot even possibly imagine. That man is struggling every single day to find a reason to keep going. And the reason we say we're all right is because as a man, nobody really fucking cares what you're going through. So why even bother to say it? But you know what? I feel you, brother. Because I'm alright too.
Hello, Mr. Musk. My name is Alex Perez. I really like your jacket today, and so it kind of got me thinking, has Tesla ever thought about going into the motorcycle business?
Yeah, I actually used to ride motorcycles when I was a kid, and I was like dirt biking for like 8 years or something. Had a road bike until I was 17 and was almost killed by a truck. So we're not going to do motorcycles.
I wasn't so angry. I didn't have my guard up. I wasn't so aggressive. I wasn't so, you know, expecting, if you ain't helping me, fuck you. That wasn't the mentality no more. And I can't blame nobody, you know what I mean, that's thinking about how they gonna pay their rent, or like going through not having food at the house, being young and having to go outside to hustle to feed themselves for school clothes. That's gonna change people. That's gonna make you feel it.
I just wanna make a lot of money and tell people money is not everything for this life. First you wanna make a lot of money though, right? Yeah. That's crazy.
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
I'm an entrepreneur.
You're unemployed.
I wouldn't say that.
What would you say?
That I'm an entrepreneur.
Well then, what was your latest preneur?
Well, I founded an internet company that let folks download and share music for free.
Kind of like Napster?
Exactly, like Napster.
What do you mean?
I founded Napster.
Sean Parker founded Napster.
Nice to meet you.
I just slept with Sean Parker.
I don't want to see your bodies on Instagram. I want to see what's in here. I'm not trying to get validation, nor do I need it anymore. All I can say from the bottom of my heart is I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to be able to share what I love every single day with people that I love.
Hey Siri, who's the 19th president of the United States?
Here's what I found on the web for who's the 19th.
The fact that I know that Rutherford B. Hayes is the 19th president of the United States that quickly makes me laugh at every school in America that's making kids memorize the presidents of the United States. Yeah. It's lazy. Every single piece of education in the world that sits with memorization should be eliminated because information is a commodity. It sits on your phone.
Your father gave you this life lesson, never be satisfied. And there's a story behind this with the trophy, which I think is really interesting.
Yes, my father was a drill sergeant, and he was the type of gentleman that you never question. So when I was young, let's say I went on a Saturday, you know, playing at the local Boys and Girls Club, we'd celebrate, trophy be there Saturday. When I wake up on Sunday, it'd be gone. So never asked him why. Wow. So finally, when I made it to the NBA, I asked him, I said, why do you used to take all my trophies when I was young? He said, because I never wanted you to be dissatisfied.
Make 1,000,000 mistakes! Just quit wasting your energy making the same mistakes. You have to make a decision that I will learn from this thing.
You're gonna remember this? I do. Good. One fucking life. One life, my friends, one time. And honestly, I'll leave you with this because a lot of you need it. How you make your money is more important than how much you make.
If you would just get up and teach them instead of handing them a freaking packet, yo. There's kids in here who don't learn like that. Bye. They need to learn face to face. You're just getting mad because I'm pointing out the obvious and you're choosing. You're wasting my time. No, I'm not wasting your time. I'm telling you what you need to do. Get out. You want kids to come in your class, you want them to get excited for this, you gotta come in here, you gotta make them excited. You want a kid to change and start doing better, you gotta touch his freaking heart. Can't expect a kid to change if all you do is just tell him.
How does Keanu Reeves deal with anxiety?
Breathe. Yeah, you gotta breathe. Breathe, try to figure out why are you afraid, what does that mean, and then try to just be and let not what you're afraid of define the present that you hope to be in when you go do what you're afraid of.
When you're starting something, it's just kind of hard. You need to be pretty headstrong about it, right? There are going to be all these challenges that come up, and I think the main thing that you need to do is just not give up, right? And kind of know what you want to do. And you know, the best entrepreneurs who I've met don't really start companies because their goal is to build a company. They do it because they want to make a change in the world and help people. And I think if you kind of stay true to that, and if you just focus on kind of powering through no matter what the challenges are that will inevitably come up in your path, then you'll find that there are lots of tools that are available and a lot of people who will help you build what you're building.
Don't be afraid of failure.
Don't be afraid of failure. You don't learn anything from your success, you learn everything from your failure. So whenever you do something that doesn't work and you slip and fall over, don't be embarrassed about it, and don't be like the world is judging me, because largely people don't remember the failures. Like I've had so many things that haven't worked, but all people talk about are the hit singles or the gigs that you've sold out.
I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks. I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading biography.
When you do something in the same place every day, at the same time every day, that space builds an energy, and that time builds a memory. What does that mean? When you've done something in one place, like meditated in the same place for a considerable amount of time, that space takes on a meditative energy and frequency. It becomes easier to do that activity in that place. And similarly, when you do something at the same time every day, that time has a memory. Your body, your mind remember that, and therefore it becomes easier to do.
You've stated that you believe there could be an infinite number of parallel universes. Does that mean that there is a universe out there where I am smarter than you?
Yes, and also a universe where you're funny.
We over-exaggerate yesterday. We just think we were amazing yesterday. We weren't. Just trust me. Of course, when you're my age, 71, you don't need to worry about it. You forget. We over-exaggerate yesterday. Hey, we overestimate tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Oh, tomorrow. I'll get to that tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I'll do that. Tomorrow.
We all talk about the hard work. We all talk about, okay, be this, be that, be this, be that. But what I figured out as I got older is it's not about working hard in terms of putting in long hours, but it's about working smart. It's about working smart. And when you work smart, it gives you more time to be able to spend with your family, right? And have that consistency, because it's important to win all facets.
I know it's hard being a woman, but there's a coldness that you have to accept when you're a man, especially a black man. It's like the world's cold as a motherfucker, okay? You get older, one thing I learned, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something.
I'm responsible, Ed, to move on what I see today. There's a whole bunch of people, they're wanting to hold and not move because they don't see 3 days, 5 days, 2 years out, whatever. And what I'm saying is, it's kind of like the lights of a car. If I go to the parking lot at night, turn on the lights and say, oh my gosh, I can't go where I don't see my house. Right. Well, no. Get in the car and start moving in the direction you're supposed to move it. And guess what? You only get about 300 feet of light. Right. You don't get you don't get 7 miles of light. You don't get to see your house. You got to utilize the light you got so that you can get to where you want to go.
I wasn't good enough for anything, like whatever I did. I just wasn't good enough. And yeah, man, it's a psychological thing. I think that for anybody who feels like that, right? Like I just feel like I'm worthless. I'm not nothing in this world. Anybody who feels that and then finds something that they're actually good at, it's like I think that's what makes somebody go for that so hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was never good at nothing. I'm good at this.
The priceless part is the journey. The priceless part is all the no's you ran into, all the failures that happened, all the slip-ups, all the times you got knocked down. That is the fun part of the story. That's why when you get in a circle of people and you're talking to them about success and you're talking to them about what it's really like, they respect you and they love to be around you because you admit what it took to get.
I bet you that you have failed more times than anyone in this room.
Absolutely.
I promise you have. I'm willing to bet that I have failed more times than anyone in this room, because I have attempted so many things that you have no idea what I've attempted and failed at. But I don't let the failures define me.
It's God pointing you in another direction.
it's clear about that. And you've got to be willing to go with that bend, because that bend in the road is the only way. Success is not a straight line. It is not.
You have to respect what you've done. Take a second, not live in it, not sit around and say, I'm good. Sit back and say, let me look at the vantage point now that I'm at. That's why you reset the vantage point. Get the tactical advantage. If you get the tactical advantage too quick and start fighting, you gotta take a second to take observation of where I'm at.
You can't punish people for mistakes, you know? And it's like, you have to forgive people. And a big part of that, you know, is forgiving yourself.
Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning, you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop, just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have. Because what you have is substantial.
Hello everyone, I'm so sorry I can't be with you tonight. However, I couldn't completely miss the chance to take a moment to share some thoughts with all of you. The lesson I cherish the most is how important it is to love what you do. If you love what you do and it's making you happy, all the hard work and perseverance will pay off. I once had a guidance counselor tell me that I shouldn't play basketball, that it would never amount to anything. His negativity towards me made me stronger. You can't stop people from trying to limit your dream.
The greatest work that you could do in your life is the work that you do on yourself. The work of self-mastery. Your car comes with an owner's manual. Here's how you operate the windshield wipers. Here's how you turn it on. Here's how often you should change the oil. If you hear this, then this is probably what's happening. We are the most complex, sophisticated creation on this planet. There's no owner's manual. Yes. And in fact, the people who take care of us while we can't take care of ourselves transfer their negative feelings about life.
Do you wish you were young? Why?
Well, the problem about, the great thing about being young is you have more time. You have more time to do things. I could play games, which I did. I used to play cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, that's what I play.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's what I like about being young. I could use my imagination more.
That's a sad story. You can't do that anymore.
Well, I could be an older cowboy.
My dad said don't ever get in a car with a stranger. But tonight we took an Uber here.
Even if everyone is telling you that something wrong is something right, even if the whole world is telling you to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree, look them in the eye and say no. You move.
You know, most guys like us that are successful and stuff that supposedly have it all, our kids are fucked up. You know?
Yeah.
They're fucked up. They never had the life that we had. They never struggled. They never know struggle. Without struggle, there's no progress. Yep. You know, and that's why they don't progress, because they don't struggle.
I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover.
I don't know, no, because if you're a lover, you got to be a fighter.
How so?
Because if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? No, I'm kidding.
Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning, you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop, just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have. Because what you have is substantial.
I've often said, the point of life, the meaning of all this chasing you're doing, is one simple thing. How do you feel about yourself when you're by yourself? I know a lot of people that fear that quiet. I know a lot of people that don't want to be alone with themselves. And the reason they don't want to be alone with themselves is because they don't think they're worthwhile.
If you don't think you're great, ask yourself why. Why don't you think the highest of yourself? When you do, people have no choice but to follow suit. You got no choice but to follow suit.
Well, a lot of people, they base it on their past. They base it on the life that they've experienced up until this moment.
Makes you better.
Yeah, it does make you better.
The world is so fast-paced. The world is so noisy. So my conversation now a lot of times is, my God, slow down. The world can take you here, be there, be everywhere. And I lose myself sometimes. So I catch myself in the airport. I catch myself in the plane while I'm writing stuff down. Okay, remember this, remember that. And I go, hey, hang on a second, Goggins. What got you here? This isn't what got you here. Slow the down.
Eagles fly alone. I have no friends. Friends are problems. Friends are challenges. I mean, if you're not into yourself enough that you can't spend the weekend by yourself, then something's fucking wrong with you. Self-esteem, being a high-performance person, and accomplishing high-performance acts. Something's wrong with you.
What you care about what people think about you? You have to learn one thing in life. You cannot love everybody and appreciate everybody, and it goes both ways. If you don't learn that now, you're gonna always be the fool of somebody. Live your life to the full. Everything you do, and as long as you don't hurt anybody, and you're happy doing what you do, let them talk.
When I'm at restaurants, I am a big tipper. You know, I like to show people my appreciation. So when they come up to the table, I say, the quicker I get my order, the bigger your tip will be, right? And then the food will come fast. And then when we get ready to leave, I'll ask them, how much you want?
You'll ask the waiter how much you want?
How much you want? And the most someone said was $4,000. And I said, okay, no problem.
You gave him $4,000? You should have punched him in the head is what you should have done.
I worked. I wrote all of my visions down. I read them every morning and every night. And I instilled them in my head. And every time I met somebody, they say, hey, man, what you trying to do? I would tell them one of my visions. Somebody would always say to me, you know, I know a guy that's selling them things right there. You ought to talk to him. I started scratching stuff off my vision board. My vision board is so vast now. If I showed you what was on it, you wouldn't even believe it.
Lamar Taylor, my best friend, I convinced him to drop out of high school with me. Now he's my creative director, and I hope there's no regrets at this point. So,
I have loyalty and love, because love really don't mean jack. See, love is just a feeling. You can love somebody, still stab them in their back. It don't really take much to love. You can love somebody just by being attached. See, loyalty is an action. You can love or hate me and still have my back.
You give a young lady wanting to become president of the United States?
Well, I hope we do have a young lady at some point become president of the United States. I can tell you how I think it will happen, because it won't happen in the normal course of events. Either the Republican or Democrat political party will nominate a man for president and a woman for vice president. And the woman and man will win. So you'll end up with a president, a male, and a vice president, a female. And in that term of office of the president will die, and the woman will become president under the law.
We have two voices in our mind. I've heard them. I hear them now. And they're real. It's that one voice that we love to hear. It says, sleep the fuck in. It's okay. It's that coddling voice. You want to be hugged and nurtured and all that shit that says it's going to be okay. Well, there's another motherfucking voice that wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's not your girlfriend. It's not your boyfriend. It's that demon fucking voice that whispers in your fucking ear. It's that voice you want to run away from. But guess what? It's that voice you need to fucking listen to. Stay hard.